Your lease is sitting in a drawer right now, or maybe in a folder on your phone you haven't opened since move-in day. That document is costing you money every single month, not because your rent is too high, but because there are clauses buried inside it that you were never told to question. Your landlord knows exactly which ones they are. They wrote them that way on purpose, and they are counting on you to keep doing what most renters do: sign without reading, renew without negotiating, and never ask why the number keeps going up. Most people treat a lease like a terms and conditions page. You scroll to the bottom and sign, and nobody blames you. The average lease is 15 to 30 pages long. It's written in legal language designed to confuse you. But here's what matters. Your lease isn't just an agreement to pay rent. It's a financial contract that controls what you pay, when you pay, how much more you'll pay next year, and what happens to your money if you need to leave early. According to a survey by the National Apartment Association, 68% of renters do not fully read their lease before signing. Think about that. Nearly 7 out of 10 people commit to spending $1,200 or $1,500 or $1,800 a month without understanding the full terms. And that's not because renters are careless. It's because nobody taught you what to look for. Nobody sat you down and said, here are the 5 clauses that will cost you the most. Nobody explained that many of those clauses are negotiable. There are 5 clauses that cost renters the most money, and most of them are hiding in plain sight. The first one is the automatic renewal clause. This says that if you don't notify your landlord 30 to 60 days before your lease ends, you automatically renew, sometimes at a higher rate. Sometimes it converts to a month-to-month arrangement at a price $200 to $400 more than your current rate. You miss one deadline, and you're locked in or paying a premium. The second one is the early termination fee. Most leases charge you 1 to 2 months of rent if you break the lease early. On a $1,500 apartment, that's $1,500 to $3,000 out of your pocket. But in many states, landlords are legally required to try to re-rent the unit. If they find someone in 2 weeks, charging you 2 full months is not always enforceable. The third is the maintenance and repair clause. Some leases make you responsible for repairs up to $100 or $200. That means if your garbage disposal breaks or a pipe leaks, you're paying out of pocket before the landlord lifts a finger. The fourth clause is the rent increase notice period. Many leases only require 30 days notice before raising your rent. That gives you almost no time to plan, budget, or negotiate. And the fifth is the late fee structure. Some landlords charge a flat $50 fee. Others charge a percentage, 5% of your monthly rent. On a $1,500 lease, that's $75 every time you're even 1 day late. These are not random fees. They are built into the contract intentionally, and they add up. Now let's do the math, because this is where it gets real. Say you're paying $1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year in rent. Your lease comes up for renewal. Your landlord sends you a letter. New rate, $1,575. That's a 5% increase. You look at it and think, that's only $75 more a month. Not great, but not terrible. So you sign. Here's the problem. You never asked for less, and your landlord was ready to offer less. According to a study from Zillow, the average cost of tenant turnover for a landlord is about $3,500. That includes advertising, cleaning, repairs between tenants, and lost rent during vacancy. Your landlord does not want you to leave. They would rather keep you at a smaller increase than risk an empty unit for even 1 month. So what if you had sent one email? What if you had written, I enjoy living here, but the increase is more than I budgeted? Would you consider keeping my rate at $1,525 instead of $1,575? That one email could save you $50 a month. That's $600 a year, but it compounds. Because next year's increase is based on this year's rate. If you never negotiate, your rent goes up 5% every year on that higher base. After 5 years at 5% annual increases with no negotiation, your monthly rent is $1,914. But if you negotiated just $50 off each year, your rent would be $1,690. That's a difference of $224 every single month. By year 5. Now stretch that over 10 years. The renter who never negotiates pays a total of $226,800 in rent. The renter who negotiated once per year at each renewal pays $199,800. That's a difference of $27,000. Same apartment, same landlord, same neighborhood. The only difference is that one person asked. The rental industry is designed to keep you passive, and it starts with how leases are written. Leases are drafted by landlords and property management companies. They hire attorneys to write contracts that protect the landlord's interests, not yours. Every clause is positioned to maximize revenue and minimize the landlord's risk. You are the product. Your monthly payment is the profit, and the longer you stay quiet, the more they make. Property management companies earn a percentage of the rent collected. According to industry data, the typical fee is 8% to 12% of monthly rent. That means when your rent goes up, so does their paycheck. They have zero incentive to keep your rent low. The entire business model depends on you accepting increases without pushback. And here's what most renters don't realize. The renewal process is not a take it or leave it offer. It's an opening bid. Your landlord expects some renters to push back. They budget for it. But most renters never do. The industry also benefits from confusion. Different states have wildly different tenant rights. Some states require 60 days notice for a rent increase. Others only require 30. Some states cap security deposits at 1 month's rent. Others allow 2 or 3. If you don't know the rules in your state, you can't use them. And that's exactly how the system wants it. Now, the biggest objection you'll hear is this: if I push back, my landlord will just find someone else. And that fear is real. But the data says otherwise. The National Apartment Association reports that average apartment turnover costs landlords between $3,000 and $5,000 per unit. That includes lost rent during vacancy, marketing costs, cleaning, and repairs. The average vacancy period is 25 days. 25 days of zero income from your unit. Your landlord does the math too. Keeping you is almost always cheaper than replacing you. So here's what you do. Step 1. Know your market. Before your renewal comes up, check what similar apartments in your area are renting for. Use any free rental listing site. If your landlord wants to raise your rent to $1,575, but comparable units nearby are listed at $1,500, you have leverage and you have proof. Step 2. Send a written request. Email is best because it creates a paper trail. Keep it short and respectful. Say something like, "I've really enjoyed living here. I'd love to renew, but the proposed increase is above what I'm seeing for similar units in the area. Would you be open to keeping my rent at $1,525? That's it. No threats, no drama. Just a calm, informed ask. Step 3. Set a reminder 90 days before your lease expires. Most landlords send renewal letters 30 to 60 days out. If you start your research at 90 days, you're ahead of the process. You have time to compare rates, prepare your email, and respond before the deadline pressure kicks in. These 3 steps take less than 2 hours total, and they could save you $600 to $1,200 a year. 2 people, both renting. Both paying $1,500 a month. Same city, same type of apartment. Person A does what most renters do. She gets her renewal letter. She signs it. Every year, her rent goes up 5%. She never questions it. She never compares rates. She never sends a single email. After 5 years, Person A is paying $1,914 a month. After 10 years, $2,443. Her total rent paid over the decade is $226,800. Person B does something different. Every year, 90 days before her lease is up, she spends 1 hour researching comparable apartments. She sends a polite email asking for a lower increase. She doesn't always win, but on average, she knocks $50 off each annual increase. After 5 years, person B is paying $1,690 a month. After 10 years, $1,970. Her total rent paid over the decade is $199,800. The gap between them is $27,000. Person B didn't make more money. She didn't have a trust fund. She didn't have a better job or a secret advantage. She just knew something person A didn't. She knew the renewal was a negotiation, not a demand. And she used that knowledge every single year, $27,000. That's a down payment on a home. That's an emergency fund. That's a year of retirement savings, all from one email, once a year. Tonight, go find your lease, pull it out of the drawer, open that folder on your phone, read every clause, circle the 5 things we talked about today, because you are not someone who just signs anymore. You are someone who reads, who questions, who negotiates. This is not your fault. Nobody taught you this. But starting today, you know. And knowing changes everything. If this helped you, subscribe, because every week we break down the money lessons nobody gave you, so you can start building something that's yours.